Hello, everyone. Tonight we're finally going to be doing some Sims 3 after a few months. Months away. Hey, after the end of Season 3. Game seems to be a little bit choppy at the moment. Hopefully that will sort itself out soon. There we go. So last we left off, Quentin was 12 days away from becoming an adult and has almost mastered inventing. However, this little thing, this is not going to be the skill that he's going to be perfecting. Because you pretty much have to just master a completely other skill. Or get very lucky with maybe I think sometimes like the consignment store might have life fruit. But I believe you have to have like 10. But before we even get into live mode, we've got to do some stuff and edit town. Because Moonlight Falls, being from the Supernatural expansion, doesn't have any way of facilitating the astronomer career. So once I find a good spot, we're gonna build one. I should probably change the name of this lot to not contain a slur at some point, but I mean, it never shows up. Because the only role of that lot is to facilitate a rabbit hole. So usually you just see the rabbit hole's name, which I already changed. You know, maybe we just put it somewhere near like the middle of town. This build is going to be a bit different than I originally planned, just because there's not really a good way to make a true observatory in The Sims 3. Like, you'd have to have some kind of big telescope. And set it up to clip through a dome roof. Yeah, maybe somewhere right around here. Change this. Apparently there's not really a better lot type than visitors allowed or no visitors allowed. Because eventually I want this to be a museum, but that will come once we have cause to have world adventures enabled. now, so it's just going to be a nice little planetarium. Hey, it's finally a good use for the dome roof. There we go. Because I actually did look up pictures of what the exteriors of planetariums look like, and this is pretty much what a lot of them look like. It's just a squat little building with a dome. All we've got to do is place a door on it. And inside that door will be a 2x2 room. And now I just need to figure out where the... See if that finds what I need. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Stellar Observatory rabbit hole rug. Because, which I had to go to an adults only Sims mod website to download, even though it's, you know, completely safe for work. Because it just so happens that the main website that this particular modder our host got hacked and taken down. Right? Like sometime in between me finding the download as part of planning out this season and me actually downloading the thing. You know what? Maybe we actually... Maybe we actually build a 2x2 room here. Which actually ended up being a 3x3. Because I kind of like the idea of this being somewhat a functional, like, hangout space. Not entirely sure what to put inside the planetarium. But basically this will be the employee entrance, and then this will be the main entrance. Oh yeah, SimStory doesn't do diagonal fences, does it? At least not true, like, middle of a... No, it does. it was just being weird. Or maybe I was doing it wrong. Either way. Okay, guess I can't do this detail, at least not on this wall. So I want to put a little... You know, maybe we do a different door. Or since, yeah, that's a pretty obvious door for, you know, an employees only side entrance. So basically, we've got a little fence that doesn't actually stop anyone from going in that door, but it makes it look like it does. We can even have, like, concrete right here. Meanwhile, to make things look nice and natural, path leading up to the main entrance is just gonna be dirt. Maybe we can use some of these stage props to create some of the effect of a planetarium. Uh-huh. Didn't realize it was a shortcut. That's because it's not. At least as far as I can tell. I'm not even entirely sure what I did. Apparently holding down shift It clones things. Yeah, this doesn't really have the kind of effects I'm looking for. And the rest of these, it doesn't look like I can set the effect at all. Yeah, not really sure what all I can do to make this into more of a planetarium, because, like, this isn't really a thing that The Sims 3 is designed to do. I feel like there might be some kind of space-themed wall covering, at least, yeah. Just repeat this over and over, it kinda looks right. Except where it has to repeat, because we don't have a number of walls easily divisible by 3. So there's a spot where it has to awkwardly not finish the full cycle. That's probably just about as close as we're gonna get without downloading some mods. Just use black tile. All for the floor. Or in the ceiling. Oh, is there no option to actually have it render the roof? While I am looking inside the building? There we go. That's a bit of a nicer roof color. Let's fix up where I overdid it a little bit on cutting out the roof area. You know, just so that Sims don't get the unfinished room moodlet and when they go in and the employee entrance. Should probably shrink that down a little bit. It does upset the balance. So first, second, third goes there, second goes there, first goes there, then basically this point I might as well just start all of the this is entirely on me for changing the interior of the building in any way. First frontier, second, third, oh, and it's still going to have an awkward point where it's slightly cut off. But I mean, this is ultimately just never gonna really come together or in a super nice way, without any kind of mods at all. All to help it look nicer. Which I guess really, I could see about doing something with create a style as well. Game also seems to be freezing up a little bit, so that's fun. Let me just hop out of into the main edit town menu. And just save real quick to make sure that, if it crashes, at least I won't have to start all over from square one. Essentially losing 28 minutes of work. Granted, since some of that was a little bit of experimentation, I wouldn't have to take the entire 28 minutes just to finish. Really, it's probably more like 27. It wouldn't take as long just to get back to where I am. Also, it looks like my internet might be being a little unstable, so hopefully that holds enough for me to get through the next 3.5 hours. And I will be right back. Alright, I'm back, so let's back to building this thing. The thing that I'm looking for is like moon dial. Comes with supernatural. I'm forgetting which specific category it's under. I thought that maybe it was entertainment, but no. I think maybe if I go by room outdoors, should turn up. There we go, moon dial. And I also want to include probably at least a couple telescopes. You know, so that if, you know, it's at night and you don't really feel like going in the planetarium, you can look at the actual night sky instead. And just to give this lot look not empty, I'm gonna throw some trees on here. Make sure that none of them are blocking telescopes. And there we go, that should be good enough just for now. Now we can actually yes, that's an interesting little thing about this is that the stellar observatory marker is way up there because normally stellar observatory is massive. And let's just save again because it freezes a little bit and freeze. That's not a word. Froze. I mean, hey, maybe in some dialects it is a word. But certainly not none the one that I speak. So let's save just in case it crashes, because I did do more after my most recent save, so don't tell me. There's something in the way. Go here. So if there's something in the way, then I have to go in and edit the building manually. I managed to get over here just fine. And he's able to go in there. Yep, I'm gonna have to go into Edit Town and alter the building. Because I guess the room that I gave for the rug is too small. There, now let's see. And of course, because he was on the lot when I was editing it, he is now back home. Probably something to do with the door now. Because I think I did read that you're supposed to use a double door. There. Maybe that will work. Because, you know, if I can't get this to work, then I have to call the episode early. Because, you know, something will be bugged and I'll have to... It gets in the way of me doing the important things. What is still in the way, you idiot? Not here. Fuck it, it's just a divot in the wall. But somehow there's still something in the way, even though there's fucking nothing. Now, what if we just put it in the middle of the planetarium? You know, I tried to make the build look nice, but The Sims 3 said, fuck you. I'm gonna be a pain in the ass. Yeah, this is just gonna have to be how it is. Is any other setup. And there's somehow gonna be something in the way. Maybe you could make us our handiness. After all, if all you have to do is fix 10 plumbing objects, 10 electrical objects, and install 10 unique upgrades on household items. I think, which basically, like, the challenge parameter says to choose a skill, but I'm basically gonna treat that as, you know, as long as he perfects a skill, you know, a 10 level skill, well, within his lifetime, then the challenge is fulfilled. So, plan B will probably be... Plan A is logic, plan B will be... He will be probably handing us plants C could be inventing if we can get the life fruit for it. And the death fish, because I'm pretty sure that's also a component. I think death fish are only used for ambrosia. And we can just fast forward a little bit until yeah, maybe we actually send Quentin off to the planetarium. Not to work right now. But you know, we did put those telescopes out there. James has really gone up there. Like he is one day away from the the range in which a sim can die of old age, and also he may be senile since he's using an umbrella to protect himself against the snow. You know, most people just, you know, put on a coat. You know, the big thing about snow is that it's cold, not that it's wet. I mean, yeah, it's wet when it melts on you, but you know, the whole idea of an umbrella is to protect you from the wet. Eat your damn mac and cheese. You know, or you could just break, I guess. You could just break your own reality momentarily. And refresh your needs while you're at it. Well, now that your needs are refreshed, you might as well go stargaze. Also, we have no idea how much money we have anymore because the display is just broken in live mode right now. Which, I mean, you know, usually it's at its most relevant in build and buy mode anyway. Oh, there we go, it's back. I also want to check yes, chess is technically its own skill. Which does mean that Sims have an incentive to practice it. Okay, where did we just get 2,700 simoleons from? Like, did you find Star? Because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to display a thing when that happens. No, I guess it's just a weird thing where, like, the game just gives his family money and then takes it away before we can actually, like, the game basically gives us, like, a nice large amount of Monopoly money because it's completely worthless when you actually go into build mode to buy things with it. Hey, you know, this is gonna get put in that increased abduction chance. Hey, he's almost gained 2 levels. Levels in logic in one night, so. Which, you know. No, he's a genius. So he is supposed to gain logic skill much faster than other Sims. Like, not just faster, much faster. Or that's part of why I'm going for logic as his skill to master. Because while all that time spent trying to make a time machine did eat into a lot of his young adulthood, clearly he's gonna get to play catch up very fast. That's when it comes to logic. Alright, dude, just go home. Because now he's tired, so might as well just go back to bed. Yeah, these 2 logic skill points will give him a head start on his career. Because he's not even at the level. Currently, he's just a space janitor. Which means that all he needs to do to gain job performance is to show up in a good mood. Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. James, get up. Get up and call the cops. Because there's a burglar stealing your greatest his possession. Well, no point. Because it's already gone. Although Davis is determined to run after him. Damn, Davis, where are you going? Okay, so now the burglar's fully out of the world. Oh, and of course it's a washing machine that gets stolen. I'm gonna get screenshot out of this because this is potentially a perfect. Oh, there we go. This will work well for a screenshot angle. Because this has a lot of thumbnail potential. Ooh, especially if I can get him openly crying. Jamie, I believe this. Nope, this is another dryer. So we have 2 dryers and no washing machine. Which means that we have to rely on the laundromat to be able to do our laundry. I have to wonder. What was Davis's plan gonna be if he caught up to the burglar? I can only assume that his plan was, I don't know, I'm gonna figure out how to go insano mode and just take that guy down. Like, I mean, maybe there's some fairy power he could have used. But, like, you know... And it's not even, like, Sims burglars are, like, canonically armed or anything. But, like, ultimately only Sims that can apprehend burglars as, like, a specific trait can really intervene in that situation. Which, I mean, technically, you know, if you go by just, you know, the interaction, his plan was to follow the guy and scream at him. Not even angry screaming, terror screaming. You know, the same kind of screaming that Sims love to do, gathered around a house fire. But, like, you know, guy has no athletic skill and he's just not particularly strong, so... And, like, the Moonlight Falls Police Department is like, notoriously incompetent. And, like... There's just not a good plan that he could have had there. You know, so much for having this washer and dryer set be passed down across generations. Hey, at least, you know, we're in the generation headed by the first sim since the founder of the dynasty, the founder of the legacy, to have a stable job. Yeah, that should help us quite a bit towards getting a new washing machine. You know, once he's had a chance to go to work. Right. I want to say there's... I want to say like the park, there's maybe spots to play chess, so maybe he could go do that. Practice logic and the chess skill. I'm not seeing any so far. Huh. How long has this been here? And like, I have not edited this lot. This is just here. How about you do some exploring? Because I'm genuinely curious about this little underground space that's apparently been underneath the library this entire time. Like, I've played this neighborhood multiple times over the course of years, and I'm just now noticing this little basement on under the library. That includes things like an alchemy station that we could have been using for the entirety of Generation 2. And whatever's in here. I get the feeling that right there is probably the just like the mood lamp object that they included with the pack. Huh. Well, out of the things that I expected to see in here, you know, I was definitely right about the mood lamp. But an urn is not what I expected. And you can't move the urn around at all. And it appears to be the urn of an actual sim and not... Because otherwise I would say just remains. There's an actual, like, name given. I wonder if the Sims lore has made a video on Peanut Ball. Oh, I know she's done some videos about the fates of pre-made dead Sims. And could probably look it up on the wiki as well and see what information that has. Or you never know, Peanut Ball might not even come up on the wiki because it could be like a randomized name. So I don't think they really do randomized names for specific characters in the Sims 3. Like, I know they randomize names at times. Names in the Sims 2 with the... with like the service NPCs. Like, presumably there's something... There's something the name Peanut Ball is supposed to be referring to. I do know that some of the jelly beans, some of the magic jelly beans are poisonous and kill Sims. So that could be related, but there's not really a way to check because, like, without seeing the ghost of Peanut Ball, because I can't move this. Like, I guess maybe I could go into edit town. I mean, within live mode, I can't move it, which means I can't see what it looks like as a grave. And urns don't have any markers designating the cause of death on them. Yeah, as for opportunities to play chess here, that appears to be a bust. Because there's not a... Wait! Nope! There is in fact... a chess table. There's in fact a couple chess tables here. Of course, Quentin's got to interrupt his interaction on the way to complain about the ghost that has unlived in this town for longer than he has been alive. Yes, Frida Goth is literally one of the Sims as part of this town by default. It's also starting to get dark, so we might not get much chest done on today, and instead switch over to doing astronomy fairly soon. Damn, Carlo, I've just died right here. Yeah, Quentin, that's one of your relatives, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's at least some Ivies in the family. Hard to tell the exact relationship, but yeah, that's one of his relatives, and he is completely unfazed. He's by him dying right here. Yeah, let's get a screenshot because this is also a potential. Okay, good. The game does send the grave off to the mausoleum automatically. I thought I was gonna have to manually do that myself to not have the poor guy be haunting the park forever. Which, I mean, granted, like, you know, when you just saw a ghost, it probably would be kind of hard for witnessing death to phase you. And no sign of peanut ball. But you would think with all that time Quentin spent at the library last season, he would have run into him. You know, he would have run into Peanut Ball at some point. You know, I know so little about Peanut Ball that I can't even, you know, say specifically, you know, what gender this deceased sim is, because, you know, can't tell jack shit from an urn full of ashes is when it comes to that kind of thing. And, you know, I don't know if you'd call Peanut a masculine or feminine name. So can't even make a guess based on the name either. You know, that's just how little we really know about this mysterious urn that's just under the library for some reason. think it might be specifically stargazing that gets you the increased chance of abduction. Actually, while Quentin stargazes, let me look online and see. Because admittedly, like, it might be that you have to search the galaxy to find which, yeah, I mean, like, it is only a plus 13% chance, but it brings it up to a total of 15% rather than 2%. Thing. It might be specifically yeah, it looks like you have to, it looks like in order to actually find celestial objects, you have to search the galaxy rather than just stargazing. Although really, this looks like a terrible night for either. But, you know, maybe if you've got the help of a telescope, you can have better luck than you would just looking with the naked eye. He's getting a phone call from Sadie. Now is not the time. Because he's doing science. And now is not the time for a call from his high school sweetheart. So far, not really seeing much of a difference. Oh, but he does now have a He wished to win a ranked chess match, but he's gonna have to buy a chess table first because you have to invite them over. And you know, part of me kind of hopes that the ranked chess system turns out to be bugged, because that sounds like it's gonna be a pain in the ass. And I'm pretty sure one of the big rules of the challenge is if it becomes impossible due to a bug, don't even worry about it. Oh, we've got a new tiny yellow subgiant. Now, we'll name it after his mom, who's somewhere up there. I believe, I want to say the meteorite thing. Sometimes you see meteorites, and I believe that means a chance to find a, I believe, larger than usual space rock. Yeah, the sim may also see a meteorite fall to the ground. This will place a map marker where the sim can go to retrieve it. This map marker will eventually disappear, so the player will have to be quick. Which apparently sims can get abducted when they search the galaxy at night, so... But Quentin's also now too tired to continue mucking about with the telescope, so no time to send him home for the night. Good. The rest of the family's already in bed. And in the morning, he can head off to work in the best mood that he can manage. Right, doesn't... Some 3 website doesn't seem to... Some 3 wiki doesn't really seem to say how many days he's a sim lives past. That's the default for the elder life stage. You know, I get the feeling that James probably only has like this, maybe next week's episode left in him. And then needs to get up like right now. Oh, because his carpool's gonna be here soon. Oh, guess he's not gonna go in as good a mood as we could have hoped, because well, he can research celestial bodies while he's here. Interesting that they let the janitor do that, but hey, you know, when you're dealing with the vastness of space, guess any help that's available, well, is of use. Yeah, that right there must be why he kept having things in the way, because he has to move like around the rug to a space behind the rug. Just can't watch these two do their thing. Well, while we wait for Quentin to get done with work for the day. Probably speed up a little, actually. So, you know, this is the first generation that I haven't started with just with just the air in the household. Which, you know, we've got a decent house, and James is on his way to death's door anyway, so which actually should check one thing about the challenge rules. Because I want to say it might be that you're only supposed to keep previous heirs around at most. Nope, just says as the previous generation may stick around, so... Although James has completed all of his goals, so... Like, I mean, technically... he could... continue working, but... to my knowledge, that's not... it's not required for Sims to work. Just that they have to stick to the specific career they're assigned. And as their source of income. James? No. After all this time, he's still obsessed with brain freeze a la mode. Which, I mean, like, technically nothing... there's no challenge rule against him eating that. It just could be inconvenient for him to zombify himself right now. Okay. Davis, you need to not play for tips right now.
Zal aber na woon, na wiz. Funits do nor.
Jarka, mi wanita, Gohan.
Letu. La, udana taka. Da foony, dabble doo wop. Benzo
Yes.
wachi. Foo.
Neck. Stu.
Now, if he makes any money playing for tips on his guitar, then that's income that he's not supposed to make.
Boo.
V, nadu. Zib zib.
Okay, yeah, Research Celestial Bodies, I think, is just the work harder option. And for this career. And really, that was probably not a great choice because it hurt his mood real bad, and now that's gonna negatively impact his performance. Which, I mean, his mood was already negatively impacted by him being tired and grungy. I'm gonna save real quick because it's been a minute since I saved. And the game has just been a little, like, just too... just stuttery enough to put me a little bit on edge when it comes to the possibility of a crash. Do you hear something notable? Brendan and Davis barely know each other. So, you know, it'll make perfect sense for Hensby just moves out soon after James dying. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back, so let's... Probably not really gonna be a whole lot not happening today since Quentin's done with work. He's gonna be too stressed to do much of he's gonna be too tired and stressed to do much of anything. Yeah, in fact, he's gonna come home exhausted. Hey, at least he made 184 simoleons. Hey, at least he's not the one driving, so... As much as Sims falling asleep behind the wheel is not even really a mechanic. At least he's for sure gonna be safe in that regard. I want to say sculpting skill can make chess sets. Yep. Clay, wood, stone, and ice can be used to make the epic 10th anniversary chess set. Which, considering it normally costs $450 to buy that same chess set. Maybe it's time. Time to bust out the tools again. Is that? I believe that's a wood chair. So maybe let's see about making a wood chess set. Either wood or clay. Since ice will just melt. And metal's not even an option. Okay, actually, from the looks of it, metal's just about one of the worst materials when it comes to just utility for creating just household items. That was because metal can be used to make next to nothing. Like, you can make a few sculptures in a chair, and that's about it. Everything else is exclusive to the other mediums. Other than topiary. Oh boy, Davis saved the brain freeze all mode. Man, he needs to go no sleep anyway, so maybe he'll sleep off any zombification that happens. Well, then it didn't even happen, so James is certainly getting immersed in his sculpting. Who knows what he's even making right now? Better be a chess set. Yep, that's probably not going to be statistically. Just because of the sheer number of different things that you can sculpt. But yeah, I'm pretty much only gonna allow him to have this thing out until well, he manages to make the chess set. Because I can't have him just autonomously sculpting things constantly. Granted, I mean, like, I guess if I just leave something on there, that they're like a sculpture or something, then he won't be able to use it to sculpt anymore. But then we also won't be able to use the sculpture. Now it's time to just fast forward through the night because the entire household is tired. You know, it would be really nice if, you know, he could just make at least the chess set. You know, just as a really nice parting gift. Left essentially because either James is moving out, because either James is dying or Quentin's moving out of this household soon. And I probably won't have Quentin just, you know, do business as usual all for today, because I think he actually lost quite a bit of his work performance because of this is the way he's doing all that extra work tanked his mood. And I think if he when he becomes an adult, unless by some means, which, like, yeah, like, that would be literally impossible at this point. But, you know, especially if he isn't at least on the way to having the 5 kids that he's supposed to have it through other means. Means I think I might have him start adopting some kids once he becomes as an adult. But he also needs to find a way to have some fun, so... Yeah, let's check and see if... Yeah, the game considers chess to be fun, so... 'Cause I thought that maybe the game just counted it for... or the actual... well, skill.
Oh, Bargle! Doobie Brock! Doobie Brock! Oh.
Clearly we need to send somebody off to the laundromat because... we just have way too much laundry. Actually, let's check and see how much does it cost to... Okay, we can just buy a... you can just replace our washing machine. And not even worry about the laundromat. It did set us back quite a bit of money, but... it's worth it to not have to bother with the laundromat. Let's see, we can hopefully save some money. With the sculpting. You know, if we can get James to make something we actually need and not just a toilet. Imagine if this is one of the last things he does before he keels over is finish this toilet. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back, so let's back into things. Since spent all that money on the replacement washing machine. Okay, yeah, we need to get this guy some fun real bad. Now, maybe if we have him float idly in anti-grav for a little while, it'll help him chill out a little bit. Yeah, it's great that you made this 716 simoleon toilet, but that's not what I needed you to do. Yeah, his work performance is in the red now because his mood is so bad. Yeah, the mood is his sole determining factor for his work performance. So actually, I think because he's floating idly in anti-grav, that might also be draining his work performance. Clearly he needs to head off to the park and play some chess or something. Could also just head on over to the Simfest and watch that. But, you know, if he plays some chess at the park, then if playing chess at the park is an option, that is, because I'm not seeing it on account of the festival that is now happening. Yeah, I think this festival gets rid of the chess tables. And he can't even practice horseshoes because his mood is too low. Oh, even though you would think that would be classified as fun, which would help get his mood up. Apparently not. Well, apparently can. Hold on, let me just check one thing before we send him home. Telescopes are fun. And apparently, not as fun as chess, but... Or he could be a dick. And decide, oh, my mood's too low to do this fun thing. Like, I mean, like, in some ways I get it. But, like... Can you not be a pain in the ass about it? Because, like, you know, if I can't get him to do things that are fun, how am I supposed to get him to not be in a completely awful mood?
Blessed him.
Boozled. Jeeps a D.
Because, you know, it's due to his fun being too low. I guess I just have to... Because it looks like he's gaining some fun right now.
Pipsy Shagorn.
But either showering is fun for him, or he's just gonna have to gain that fun passively.
Dog. Shamo. Donsky. Avenue way. Mama.
Because he's decided he's just gonna be a whiny little shit about everything. Like, oh no, I can't have fun looking for a telescope because I'm not having enough fun.
Aren't you sussy? Oh, box cleek.
James, where are you going? The toilet that you made is back there. Behind the house.
Avenue way, huh? Waba.
Yeah, you're pissing yourself because you're an idiot that doesn't know how to go behind his own house somehow. Even though you do that regularly. You know, you went back there to sculpt.
Oh, Zach George. Hagley. Huh? Good.
Okay, Yarbo.
He's just passively gaining fun because, you know, I guess he's not actively stressing himself at all. Your psychic advisor suggests that you work on improving relationships with those closest to you, because you'll need them in the next lunar review. So, hopefully he'll just gain enough fun overnight to be able to not have an entirely terrible work day Wednesday morning. And for now, I guess we're just fast forwarding on through. Again, I'm sure it's on me that I selected that work option, but if he's gonna be a whiny little shit about it and refuse to do anything about his own problem, then that's on him. You know, I kept giving him all these opportunities to go do fun things, but he just refused. Because his mood is too low. Yeah, he's not getting married. Yes, he has to be, per the roles, he has to be a single parent. 5 kids.
Having a way, huh? Wabba.
Joey, I think technically
Let's get 'em. Huh.
I did
I'll go see.
kind of mess up one of the challenges because one of the challenge parameters for this generation is hands off. And I believe I did manually move some piles of laundry. But you know what? One of the rules of the challenge is also that you can just choose to not yeah, rule 19, if you really, really hate a role, you can exempt yourself from it. We have players who refuse to play with the celebrity system, players who don't like deadbeat parents, etc. Will this challenge be fun, not torture? So, like, and I'm not entirely sure if that means I need to replace a role. either way, I'm just not gonna worry about the hands-off thing.
Oh, Davito! Ah, Mapita!
Because, like, at least with Homegrown, I was able to install a mod to handle most of those of that for me. Yeah, so some of the miscellaneous fun stuff is just kind of because like it's not really fun. It's just here's a little bit of extra tedium of just like you have to remember to not do this specific thing. That, you know, when you've played this game for long enough is gonna be a matter of habit for you. Yeah, I'm just gonna effectively exempt myself. Yeah, I'm gonna rule 19 the hands-off element. Which, I mean, you know, like I feel like a lot of the miscellaneous fun, that's the easiest stuff to exempt yourself from because it changes, because a lot of the time it changes next to nothing about the actual challenge. You know, oh, it's the other 3 roles that are important and to defining what the generation is like.
Ah, Rude, Tifalur! Huh?
You know, maybe you can make some silly faces and that'll help him have some fun. See, he's managed to get from having absolutely no fun to at least being down to strained. Yeah, of course it has to be between 5, not even 11 p.m. It's one of those opportunities that require you to do the thing at a specific time. Let's see if this sculpture ends up being the chess set. And just to make sure that, you know, I've had a recent save after that brief little freeze there, I'm gonna save the game again. Yeah, you know, I kind of get like being in such a bad mood that it interferes with your ability to motivate yourself to do anything about it. But like when I've had times like that, I don't complain. I don't, essentially take that out on people that are trying to help. And I don't take it out on whatever deity he is watching over me either. Like, yeah, when I'm in a funk, really, the thing that I probably hope for most is that somebody will come and help me get out of it.
Gibladunk. You're blonde. Zeb, you're blonde.
If this isn't the chess set either, it's gonna be like a gnome or something.
Gorbzo. Zebzina Gorbzo.
But at least Quentin has a day off soon, so he's gonna have a full day to just relax. Yep, it's a gnome. Still not the thing that I'm trying to have him make. But until he's made the thing once before, I can't tell him to make anything. So we've just got the magical gnome of sculpting. Join our snowman and bitter totter. Because we can't sell either of them. Yeah, right now we're just kind of waiting for stuff to happen.
You're blonde. Zeb, you're blonde.
James should have plenty of skill Well, in sculpting to be able to make this thing. I think it's just a matter of him doing it. Go use the toilet. Don't even worry about the toilet that you refuse to recognize as being right there. Even though, you know, that would be more convenient for you. If you would just use your wooden toilet. Yeah, that's right next to your sculpting thing. You know, maybe it's because it doesn't provide enough privacy because it's, you know, out here. There, and that's why he doesn't want to use this wooden sculpture toilet. Now we wait for the game to save. Save once again. So now, Brendan's got over 24 hours to just relax. Because he doesn't need to be in for work until 8 a.m. on Friday morning. Come on, James. This better be something good. It's not. It's super not. Like, it looked like it's gonna be something weird. But, like, I'm not looking for whatever this is. I'm looking for him to make a chess table. You know, until it finished, I kind of thought that it was gonna be like some giant baby doll or something, but no, it's a Socratic therapy bust. Still not chest able, so still not what I'm looking for. And, you know, every day that James doesn't make this damn chess table is another day that he risks running out of time.
Fargo.
He's already past his minimum lifespan, so who knows how much longer he's got left. Actually, I think you know, if I look a bit more on the wiki, it should say somewhere. A minimum of 90 days. No, doesn't really seem to give specific numbers. So guess it'll be a little bit of a surprise. Is which I think I imagine it's probably somewhere around 10 days. But, you know, it's also been in years since the last time I actually had a sim get this old in any of the households I've been playing.
Maybe that's so.
Yeah, and I missed my window to send Davis off to the event center, so I'll have to see about doing that today. In 94 days. So okay, so he could pass away in just about any day at this point. Which, yeah, the town is pretty much like, I think, approaching the end of James's whole generation, because we keep having more deaths.
Rinaldi.
Man, might have to call it a night early or something. I will be right back, and I'm gonna get probably just like something to drink, maybe something to snack on, just to give me a extra bump of energy for the remains of this hour. Alright, I'm back and ready to continue for the... I should have enough energy now to keep going for the next like 50 minutes.
Dubzo. Maybe no.
Now it's day off for... Go use the toilet that is in the actual bathroom. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this toilet that he keeps trying to use, but is seemingly, because you know he's an old man on the brink of death, so senile that he can't remember how to get behind his own house conveniently when he's specifically going to use the toilet. Now when he's going off to sculpt, he manages to navigate just fine. It's that dang toilet that gives him so much trouble. Well, guess we don't have to worry about Quentin being stressed out anymore, because he broke his reality again.
Linarb. Kadoob. Or da.
Because he'd rather do that than eat burnt food.
Usa Saga di Sandazo.
Fairland toggle as the Wujibalara.
Ah, Mior.
Landidio Forba Carolaga, Zorbadi.
Arbu Black.
Os.
Lami Pasi Patu. Asim. Vidor.
Zebs, Borgahim, me Bashua?
Quinzel Nivar. Zorbu. Shagaza.
Maybe this will finally be the chess set. It's probably not going to be, but yeah, I can hope.
Ula's a Wigador.
Barzo.
Ichiglon.
Warikad.
Barbna. Hoblo.
Hey, now that he's level 7, it might even end up being a brilliant one.
Veldini Marabusa. Igrish. Udu. Ejuba.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. He's not even gonna live to make this chess set. It's either that or he's gonna just keel over right after he finishes it. Yeah, I hope for the latter, but the former is seeming much more likely. Hey, I guess tonight we can send Quentin off to look at the stars. And maybe we even just like scope around and see if we can't find any space rocks. Oh, funny enough, there's one right here. And it's a pretty big one too. Which, I mean, I also have this thing that could be useful for finding space rocks. I don't know if you can get space rocks with the miner. Or it could just be all the other kinds of rocks. I don't know what it is with these abandoned vehicles scattered around town. There's just a bike sitting in the road, nobody on it, and it's just standing up. Maybe it's one of the people, maybe it's owned by one of the people that died recently. So now, Quentin has a space rock in his inventory. Which gives a whopping plus 38% chance of abduction. Which in fact, actually, if you have enough space rocks, with 2 space rocks, you can get plus 75. The default is 2%, so that would be 77. Yeah, you can get your chance of abduction up to 90% with 2 space rocks and stargazing every night. But you know, already just having 2 space rocks, statistically you're going to get abducted more often than not. Because, you know, that's already a 79% chance of an abduction. So let's scope around and see if there's just like a second space rock we can grab. Well, you know, if you just use this as a telescope tonight, then that'll get him up to 50% chance. Then I'll give him more than a 50% chance. Somebody left a laptop here. And somebody left a pickup truck here. It's looking like that's about the only space rock that's available right now. It's also hailing, so might not be a great time for outdoor activities.
Oh.
Hey, you know, still got a pretty high chance of getting abducted. And even if he doesn't even go and use the telescope at all.
Ebs to doing pop non. I'm the balagan emorker. Barga puwangi the line.
She might not just not have to go out in the hail. But you know, it would be nice to get at least one abduction tonight. Hey, just a we probably won't get super far or past it, but even just having an abduction give us something to look forward to next week. It could be nice. You know what's really interesting about the abandoned vehicles is I'm pretty sure like Nira's mods are supposed to clean those up.
Redsy, I go.
Because, you know, I would assume that that's what it means by cleaning used vehicles. Okay, I think it's just raining, so let's send James back out to work on his sculpture. That will almost certainly not be the chess set. Like at this rate, we might just end up buying the chess set. Which I mean, Quentin does have a wish to buy a chess table. But I just think it would be nice if he could have a handmade one from his dad. But unfortunately, James is stubbornly making literally everything except for chess tables, including toilets, busts of random old men, gnomes. I guess random old men is not necessarily the case because, like, presumably that's meant to be, you know, given the name. Presumably that's meant to be Socrates. Alright, Davis, go perform with the symphony. Yep, is certainly not the chess table. That's a sink. Let's send Quentin off to... I'll have to go look through the telescopes. Yeah, by the time he gets there, it'll probably be dark. Dark, and then he can... Actually... Search Galaxy option is available by default. All seemingly even during the day. Yeah, let's search the galaxy, then we'll probably switch over to Stargaze. Once he's searched the galaxy for a while. Meanwhile, James is about to finish making his sink. Which, I mean, hey, at least, you know, I guess we can have a bathroom sink now. Except we don't really have room in the bathroom. Known for such a thing. Also, I moved the wrong thing. So I guess we can just put that in the family inventory. Hey, because chances are, if I leave it out, James is going to keep trying to use it, and then somehow fail to find his way to the spot behind his own house. Now we can... Alright, we got thousands of mullions from... Dave is helping out with the symphony. Oh, there we go. Now he's got a star named after each of his parents. And now let's stargaze just to make sure that if it is stargazing that is specifically... Now let me actually check and see if there's like a specific window of time when alien abductions can happen. Between the hours of 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. However, I want to say it doesn't have to be on the home lot. It doesn't seem to specify that the sim has to be at home for it to happen. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back, so let's... And it looks like, depending on how the phrasing is supposed to be read, it might be that the cap overall, all for abduction chance is 75%. Either way, still, If you maximize your chance, you're getting more abducted more often. You're getting abducted more often than not. So let's go ahead and send Quentin home just in case, whether or not he's on his home lot during the abduction hours. Hours matters. Because admittedly, I'm not sure if I've really had any Sims ever get abducted when away from home. We should find out in the next 3 sim hours whether that over 50% chance plays out. Oh, because actually, yeah, he should have a 53% chance of getting abducted. But so far, no dice. Maybe, hey, every night, whether he looks through the telescope or not, he's got 40% chance of getting abducted. Just because he has this big rock in his inventory. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's getting abducted tonight. So we'll have to getting more space rocks. We can scope around, see if there are any space rocks available. Oh, you wait for the night to pass by. You know, just 2 space rocks is apparently enough to get you. You like pretty much that's the maximum chance. Either the maximum chance overall or the maximum bump that you can get for having space rocks. Nope, those are just gemstones. I'm saying it. You know, I never really paid that much attention to the space rocks because, like, compared to like the metals and gemstones, they're kind of boring. You know, they're relevant now. Now, so I have a reason to actually look for them. I think... There we go, we've got another space rock. It's a much smaller one, but to my knowledge, size does not matter here. It might take him a little while to get over there. Especially if he's walking. And he is most certainly walking at least part of the way. But hey, this should give us a good chance of having an abduction at least once tonight. Because, if we get the space rock, then that's at least a 75% chance of an abduction. So hopefully he can grab the space rock before he has to go to work. Which ain't really, he's in the astronomer career. If any employer understands, yeah, I had to go here and collect a space rock, it's gonna be the astronomers. Okay, the game froze real bad there, so I'm gonna do another save. Because, it'd be a shame to lose the progress of having these 2 space rocks. Alex, it can get us this nice, juicy 75% an abduction chance. Or, 77, depending on if, how exactly you're supposed to read the phrasing on the wiki when it says up to 75%. Right after it's talking about how you can get plus 38% chance just by having a space rock in your inventory. And it's plus 38% for each space rock. He is going to be a little bit late. And he is going to be in a little bit of a sour mood. So hopefully that doesn't negatively impact his work performance too much, because he is a bit in the red on that. I mean, surely he gets an opportunity to eat lunch sometime, and when he's at work. And he wants to earn a promotion, so he's got a long way to go on that front. So James started sculpting again completely on his own. Now, it doesn't look like it's a chess set, so I'm just gonna cancel the interaction. Because I want the chess set to be made out of wood. If he ever actually even manages to make the thing. But yeah, if it had clearly been the chess set, I would have just let him finish. Davis, why did you so specifically just lay all the plates of pancakes around yourself? Was it so that you can step on them multiple times? And while putting them in the fridge? Which, I mean, hey. James is 5 days. He's past the 90 mark. Arcan is still going strong, so maybe we will get that chess set at some point. It might even be a brilliant sculpture. If furniture can even be brilliant. And because it does just say sculpture. But, you know, it's gonna be a little while before we even find out what this sculpture is. But, you know, the majority of the time we might as well let him finish making whatever. Because then at least, you know, we can use it as like decor, for example. Or if that burglar from before decides to like, steal our sink or something. Right, Davis, how about if you're going to fondle the laundry, you wash it? Instead of just standing there, picking it up and putting it on the ground. Over and over and over. Yeah, this isn't... In fact, actually, it's something that he's made before. Because it's the fish again. But I mean, again, you know, might as well let him finish because we already paid for it. It's about the only good that's gonna come from canceling it is that he can save him some time. Like, you know what? Maybe we actually will just cancel all this, particularly because it's just the fish again. You know, it's not a new sculpture of any kind. And so it's not even going to help get him towards not... Because, like, I kind of figured the You know, when you just tell him to sculpt, that he would always sculpt something new. But apparently not. Apparently he is just sculpting whatever. And that includes repeating the same thing he already made in the same wood. Like not even like a different color of wood, just the exact same wood. Okay, good. They're feeding Quentin and while he's at work. So yeah, for right now, he's at least able to have a normal mood of fair, instead of having a mood that actively negatively impacts his work performance. I think what I might do is I'm gonna just keep going until we get to like 3 a.m. on this in-game night. Like it's 9 minutes to 4 a.m. But regardless, because that way, you know, we've got a high chance of ending the stream off with an abduction. Whether anything will come of it, we'll have to see 10 in-game hours and 33% chance later. But that will most likely be next week. In actual real life time. I'm just gonna save the game once more. She is feeling a bit sleepy, so. But you know, we don't need him to look through the telescope to get a good chance of abduction anymore. So, oh, he can easily just go home and sleep. The main role of looking through the telescope is just gonna be increasing his logic skill. Also, that he can hopefully master that before he dies at some point. Which, you know, he's still a young adult, so he's got plenty of time for that. Unlike James in his not so much his attempts to make a chess set, but more my attempts to get him to make a chess set. Because, you know, the chess set is not really James's idea. Lore-wise, I'm gonna count it as being his idea, but especially since technically, you know, will be a thing that he decided to do once he does it. to the extent that you can call an interaction the sim is instructed to do by the player their choice. And this still isn't the chess set. It's gonna be like the freezer bunny thing or something.
Voozlede. Nibel Vusi? Shabool. Sebi Detsanat.
Damn. Oh, it's another case of scrap the thing so that you can act so that he doesn't have to spend the time completing it. Since clearly whether he completes the thing or not doesn't matter for his chances of actually making the thing I want him to make. Because again, he was gonna make the fish thing again. And so clearly telling him to just sculpt just means that you're telling it just means that they'll sculpt something random, as opposed to they'll sculpt something that they haven't sculpted before so that they can gain the ability to sculpt that specific sculpture a second time. Alright, so now we're getting into the night and fast forwarding, so soon we shall see if the 75% chance pans out. Which, it should. Because, an over 70% chance means more often than not it'll happen. But that's still a 25% chance of absolutely nothing. But, at least it's going to be a consistent high chance of abduction every night. Right? So, I don't even really have to actively put in an effort towards increasing the abduction chance, especially if it truly does just cap out at exactly 75. Because he should be right at that cap. But, we aren't even into the 3-hour window yet, so we will find out in a couple minutes. It's of real world time. We're down to the final hour before the window. Oh, which I keep being the sounds of UFOs, but I think that's just some of the neighborhood aliens that's flying around. And those don't abduct people, so... Right, we are into the window. And so far, absolutely nothing. Things it's kind of looking like... Well, the game... stopped fast forwarding, but that's because as Davis is awake. Not because there's aliens. Yeah, I also don't know how often it tests your chance. And it's because it specifies it specifies 12 a.m., 3 a.m. It's like, does it check hourly, or does it check once per night and pick a random time? Either way, we're about out of the window, so... Hey, Amnesia Tells. How are you doing? It's looking like we're not getting an abduction tonight. Hey, despite the massive chance. Yeah, let's just... Let's move on. Wait until like 4 a.m. in game time, just in case the entirety of 3 a.m. is part of the window. And yeah, we're not getting an abduction tonight. So thank you to everyone who stopped by. Next stream, Game of The Sims 3 is planned for next week on this same night. I've lost track of my end of stream scene. There we go. So next Sims 3 stream is planned for next week. On Tuesday night. Next stream in general is planned for tomorrow with The Sims 4. Here are all of my various links. And let's see He who's around for good raid. The browser's not showing anybody in the Sims 3 category, so because I've been giving me the option to filter by my specific category, so yeah, nobody in Sims 1. Here we go. Here's somebody doing Sims 4, so oh, let's send the raid their way.